Ray Charles, and today's video is going to be a little bit different because I can't use my laptop, so I have to use my tablet. So you're probably going to see me look off screen like I normally do, but also scroll a little bit on my tablet. The first article for this live stream that I used to gather information was from the biography website in the article Ray Charles. And the reason I say the first article because I'm going to use a second article later on. Okay, so this article, Ray Charles, starts off as, who was Ray Charles? Ray Charles was a legendary musician who pioneered the genre of soul music during the 1950s. Often called the father of soul, Charles combined blues, gospel, and jazz to create groundbreaking hits such as Unchain My Heart, Hit the Road Jack, and Georgia on My Mind. He died in 2004, leaving a lasting impression on contemporary music. Early life. Ray Charles Robinson was born on September 23, 1930, in Albany, Georgia. His father, a mechanic, and his mother, a sharecropper, moved the family to Greenville, Florida, when he was an infant. And sorry for the background noise. I live with my family. One of the most traumatic events of his childhood was witnessing the drowning death of his younger brother. Soon after his brother's death, Charles gradually began to lose his sight. He was blind by the age of 7, and his mother sent him to a state-sponsored school, the Florida School for the Deaf and the Blind, in St. Augustine, I think is how you say it, Florida, where he learned to read, write, and arrange music in Braille. He also learned to play the piano, organ, saxophone, clarinet, and trumpet. The breadth of his musical interests ranged widely, from gospel to country to blues. Musical evolution. Charles's mother died when he was 15 years old, and for a year he toured on the Chitlin circuit in the South. While on the road, he picked up a love for heroin. At the age of 16, Charles moved to Seattle. There he met a young Quincy Jones, a friend and collaborator he would keep for the rest of his life. Charles performed with the McSun Trio in the 1940s. His early playing style closely resembled the works of his two major influences, Charles Brown and Nat King Cole. Charles later developed his distinct sound. In 1949, he released his first single, Confession Blues, with the Maxon Trio. The song did well on the R&B charts, and more success on the R&B charts followed with Baby Let Me Hold Your Hand and Kiss Me Baby. By 1953, Charles landed a deal with Atlantic Records. He celebrated his first R&B hit single with the label Mess Around. Critically acclaimed The Genius. A year later, Charles' now classic song I Got a Woman reached #1 on the R&B charts. The song reflected an advance in his musical style. He was no longer a Cole interpreter, I think it's actually in what is it called? It's when you copy someone. My brain's not thinking of what the word. I think it's imitator. There we go, imitator. Sorry guys, I was trying to figure out how to say the word. That happens. Okay, his fusion of gospel and R&B helped to create a new musical genre known as soul. But by the late 1950s, Charles began entertaining the world of jazz, cutting records with members of the modern jazz quartet. Fellow musicians began to call Charles the genius, an appropriate title for the rambling musician who never worked in just one style, but blended and beautified all that he touched. He also earned the nickname Father of Soul. Charles's biggest success was perhaps his ability to cross over into pop music too, reaching number 6 on the pop charts and reaching number 1 on the R&B charts with this hit. I'd sorry, what I'd say. The year 1960 brought Charles his first Grammy Award for Georgia on My Mind. That's a really good song though. Later I'm gonna talk about the film because they talk about the film that was inspired by his life. Followed by another Grammy in the single. Sorry, followed by another Grammy for the single "Hit the Road Jack." For his day, he maintained a rare level of creative control over his own music. Charles broke down the boundaries of the music genres in 1962 with modern sounds in country and western music. On his album, he gave his own soulful interpretations of many country classics. While thriving creatively, Charles struggled with his personal life. He continued to battle his heroin addiction. In 1965, Charles was arrested for possession. Later career. Charles avoided jail after his arrest for possession by finally kicking the habit in a clinic in Los Angeles. His releases in 1960s and 1970s were hit and miss, but he remained one of music's most respected stars. Charles won a Grammy for his rendition of Stevie Wonder's "Living for the City." 3 years later, he released his autobiography, Brother Charles. In 1980s, Charles appeared in the comedy The Blues Brothers with John Belushi and Dan, I think his name is Aykroyd. I'm so sorry about his name. I probably said it wrong. Um, the music icon received a special honor a few years later as one of the first inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Charles was recognized for his contributions to the genre alongside his fellow luminaries. So as in we have James Brown, Elvis Presley, Sam Cooke, and Buddy Holly. Charles returned to the spotlight in the 1990s, the early 1990s, with several hit profile appearances. He also recorded commercials for Pepsi Cola, singing "You Got the Right One, Baby" as his catchphrase, and performed "We Are the World" as for the organization U.S. for Africa, alongside the likes of Billy Joel, Diana Ross, Cyndi Lauper, Bruce Springsteen, and Smokey Robinson. Death and legacy. In 2003, Charles had to cancel his tour for the first time in 53 years. He underwent a hip replacement surgery. While that operation was a success, Charles soon learned that he was suffering from liver disease. He died on June 10, 2004, at his home in Beverly Hills, in California. During his lifetime, Charles recorded more than 60 albums and performed more than 10,000 concerts. Lifelong friend Jones, or Quincy Jones, was just one of the many who mourned the passing of Charles. There will never be another musician who did as much to break down the perceived walls of the musical genres, Jones stated. According to the New York Times, Ray used to say that if he had a dime, he would give me a nickel. Well, I would give that nickel back to him still. Oh, sorry, to still be. 1,500 people came to say goodbye to the musical legend at his funeral. We had B.B. King, Willie Nelson, Stevie Wonder performed at the service. Final album. Charles' final album, Genius Loves Company, released 2 months after his death, consisted of duets and various admirers and uh, contemporaries. His life story became a hit film entitled Ray later that year. Jamie Foxx starred as the legendary performer, and he won an Academy Award for his portrayal as Charles. And the second article that I got was from the Ray Charles Foundation, and I wanted to read the one section about his advocacy. And the section says the mission. Throughout his career, Charles was active in a range of political and humanitarian causes. In 1986, Ray Charles founded the Robinson Foundation for Hearing Disorders, Inc., with $1 million personal endowment. The Robinson Foundation of Hearing Disorders, I'm sorry if you heard that because I heard it too, Inc., later changed its name to the Ray Charles Foundation. The foundation is dedicated to providing services in the areas of hearing disorders and empowering young people throughout education by offering support to educational institutions and nonprofit education programs. Ray Charles said, "The inability to hear is a handicap, not the inability to see." The vision of Ray Charles Foundation is to instill in youth of America that there is no challenge too great one cannot overcome. Today's planned video is also gonna be on the topic of how do you know when you're out of spoons, and that will be released at 6 p.m. today. And the next unscripted live stream will be on Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And the next unscripted live stream is on the topic. I'm trying to think off the top of my head because I don't have my notes in front of me. 1 second. I'm going to check because I want to double check. The topic is, the topic is Melanie Gallegos. And I thought her story was very interesting because I had never heard about her until I don't know how actually I heard about her. So that will be next week's topic, and hopefully my computer is working by then, because that's the reason I did not remember what my next week's topic is for my scripted live stream. I hope everyone has a good day or night or good afternoon, depending on what time you live in. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. Bye.